Welcome to Attention Central Texas. I'm so glad you're watching us. I'm Robin Durham. My guest in the studio today is Ron Jutze, and Ron is from Atlanta, correct?
Yes.
And we've had a good conversation this morning and had some time to fellowship, and I love the humility of this ministry and the humility of this man. The ministry is The Word for You Today, USA, and I'm sure some of your churches are already connected to it. It's really a worldwide ministry, although you can like them on Facebook, The Word for You Today, USA. Ron, welcome to KPLE.
Thank you so much, Robin. It's great to be here.
It's good to have you in the studio. Your company puts out a daily devotional, correct?
Yes.
And just share with the audience some of the things, because I know it's online, but you also have booklets and you get them into the hands of pastors and other people. Share about the ministry.
Well, The Word for You Today is one where we created it with the idea to how can we put a spiritual resource into the hands of pastors, churches, Christian ministries, Christian businesses, not to be like the ministry that's out there. Mm-hmm. How do we create a resource that they can use to minister to the people that they love the most and that they're giving their life for? Because that's what they do. I pastored for years. So you thought all the time, how do I help people deepen their connection to Christ? Mm-hmm. How do I practically help them even find Him? Mm-hmm. And you're always looking for things. Well, from an individual standpoint, taking away leaders, if you were to ask people in the church or just everyday folks who read the Bible or know about the Bible, what is the most popular resource to you that helps you understand God and understand the Bible? They never point to a book written by an author. They say a devotional. Mm-hmm. It is so far ahead of anything else they use. So then the thought was, okay, what if we create a devotional that can be used? Like, we'll develop the content, but they can use it as a ministry tool that helps them in the assignment that God gave them. Honestly, we didn't know what was going to happen. When we did this over 20 years ago, we're actually celebrating 20 years now here in the United States. So when we started that, we started with 3,000 copies in a quarter, not knowing where it was going to go. Mm-hmm. Today, just in the United States, we do almost 1 million copies a quarter with over 5,000 churches, Christian businesses, and Christian ministries who use it. Mm-hmm. And then around the world, with our reach when it comes to radio, television, apps, internet, we have a reach of about 80 million people a day who access that devotional in some format. And we are humbled. We truly look at it and think, Jesus, you gave your life for people. We don't ever want to change this model. It is always about the ministry that we're serving. Mm-hmm. We are just a provider of content to help them reach the people that they are sacrificing their life and honoring Jesus to minister to. And it's just a joy that we can partner with that many ministries and organizations.
That is an amazing amount of people that you're touching, starting with 3,000 booklets.
I know.
God breathed on your vision and has breathed on your ministry. You mentioned churches using them, and I know individuals can go directly to your website. How does it work? How many churches did you mention just a second ago? 5,000 in the United States alone.
I say over 5,000. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the exact number because it grows every quarter, but that's a safe 5,000.
Okay. Well, we know that individuals can go on www.wordforyou.com and access it, but for ministries and churches that want to use this tool in the content of what you send, how do they connect with you?
Great question. And here's the honest answer. We have learned more from them. Mm-hmm. They have told us how they use it. We just wanted to make it available. So I'll share with you how many of them are using it. Okay. What churches do is pastors or the leadership team, because of it being content, somebody could read it and it takes them 5 minutes a day, but it stays with them all day. Mm-hmm. And the idea behind it is it gave them strength, it gave them guidance, or possibly even led somebody to Christ. Because in every devotional, there's the prayer to come to Jesus. So churches then give it to their members to encourage them in their spiritual journey.
That's good.
They hand it out to visitors that are attending the church because it's a hard copy, physical. It's something of value beyond an announcement or a flyer, right, or something about the church. It's actually something that ministers. It's a gift. That's how it's perceived. Well, then churches branched out beyond that and said, okay, well, if people come to the Lord, we usually give them a Bible. So then they started giving them the devotional and the Bible, and then they were getting feedback going, I love this book. Man, this is helping me. Okay, so then they contact us. Can we get more of those devotionals for people that are coming to Christ? Okay. Then churches that had outreaches, say they had a soup kitchen. They were feeding 400 people food. Now they're getting the devotional, they're giving it out to their members, giving it out to the visitors, and they're encouraging members to take extra copies so you can give it to a family member, a friend, a neighbor, however. Now, what if we ministered to the people that we're serving with a meal? What if we gave them a spiritual meal? So now for 90 days, while they got fed that meal for the week, now they got a devotional. And again, that's from the emails to the phone calls, people saying, oh my gosh, people love this, can we get more? That's how churches are using it. They're using it to minister to their members, minister to visitors, but then whatever outreach they've got going on, from VBS to fall festivals to feeding the hungry to whatever they got, they found that the hard copy of a devotional as a gift was of more perceived value to the person who got it than a flyer or a piece of advertisement, because they expected, well, you're going to advertise the church, but what you're doing with this is you're actually investing in my spiritual well-being. And so the fruit that they ended up receiving was much greater, whether it was in church attendance, people participating in the vision, people coming to Christ, members who might have been afraid to share, didn't think they could share the gospel, but could take an extra copy and leave it somewhere, and all of a sudden somebody picks it up and contacts the church because we personalize those. So our information, they might not have been able to find us, but they found the church and notified the church, hey.
So you're saying you personalize your devotionals for a specific church. Basically, are they able to put their brand, in a sense, different cover on your book? Do you allow that? How is it that it gets personalized for each ministry?
Great question, thank you. We do both. We do a personalized version and a non-personalized that says a gift for you, and a lot of folks like that because it's a gift. But the personalized version allows them, now we have two different covers that they can use, but it allows them to put their logo on the front. Then they can use the inside front cover, to put a letter that they change out, put a picture of the pastor or the church, whatever picture they would like, and then whatever pertinent information they want to have for folks to contact them. So it goes in there. So when that goes out, people immediately associate that this publication came from the church, and we have over 1,200 Christian ministries that do that every quarter.
Okay. Do they use it digitally? Do they use it during services? Are you aware of some of the other ways that your booklets are used and your devotionals are used?
That's a great question. We've entered the digital market more so in other nations. But here in the United States, we are releasing an app in September. So it's not available yet.
Okay.
But we are releasing an app in September that this way people can get it. Now we do an email for people that want to get an email subscription. Sure, we'll send them that every day, the email of the devotional. But we realize that today in the digital world, apps are so valuable. So we are in the process of having it built, and it will be launched in September for people to access it.
Excellent. I want to ask you, there's a lot of devotionals. I mean, some of my favorites I go back to, even Streams in the Desert and, you know, My Utmost for His Highest, and some of the devotionals that are just, you know, wonderful. What makes your devotional different from Joyce Meyer's devotional? There's many, many devotionals that we can get our hands on, and there's ministries that if you just go online, you get a word each day. So what makes yours different?
A great question, and the purity of our heart is that we do not look at any other devotional as a competitor.
Right.
We're partners in the ministry of Christ. I think what makes ours different is that it's not driven by a personality, it's a brand, the word for you today. And the inception of it was created not to point attention to us, but it was created as a tool to help a ministry, a church, a Christian business, help them minister to people or expand their influence in the sphere that God gave them. So we would develop the content. Now, in doing that, we also walk through a filter. I don't know what every other devotional does, but for us, we have a criteria. We want it to be biblically sound, local church friendly or local ministry friendly, and that it doesn't create doctrinal issues. This way, people can access it. Now, that's easier said than done. We can't do that real quick, so every day's devotional requires 12 edits to comb through to make sure, is it biblically sound? Have we literally maximized every word? We haven't created a doctrinal issue for people that are using it. It points to Christ, and it's biblically sound that they feel comfortable using it. So what we have found, the best way to answer your question is what makes us different, is that's our philosophy. And in the court of ministry, they would tell us kind of, and by the volume that we use, again, it advertises their church. Or if it's a gift for you, they're handing it out, but our goal is to promote their ministry to help them care for people. So that's what we've kept it that way and not looked at anybody else, any other devotional, and say, let's try to be that. No, let them do what they feel they're supposed to do.
Certainly.
We just want to do it in a way that we want the church to use it as a tool, because others, they're denominational based, they're driven by personality, so churches might not use them for that. But we'll have a charismatic and a non-charismatic church. We'll have a Baptist, a Catholic, a Methodist, a Presbyterian.
That's good.
And they use it and go, oh, that's kind of our goal.
That's why it's different. Oh, that's really good. You mentioned, we have just a minute 20 left. You mentioned China, and I think that's just a breakthrough story that I'd like you to share.
Around the world, we're always getting requests for our devotional because you never know where it goes. Well, China has been a nation knocking on our door for years.
Really?
Oh, wow. Yes, because there's hunger. You know, you hear well, they're not hungry in China. Yes, they are. Matter of fact, we're finding there's hunger all over. But in China, we've been working to try to get a publication there, but it is not always as easy to do. But what we have done is, starting in January of this year, we released an app with the Word for You Today content. From January to May, we have had over 500,000 downloads by the Chinese people who are accessing our devotional through that app, and it grows literally every day.
They wouldn't let you bring the written word in, the print word in, but they have opened the door for the app.
Yes.
That's just amazing.
It is.
You know, and how many people in just how many months?
Over 500,000.
In how long have you?
Less than 6 months.
Less than 6 months. I mean, that's remarkable, and you know, to be able to get the word into that nation in particular and others like it, because one will touch multitudes of people. So, well, thank you for coming in and being here and talking about your ministry, the Word for You Today. You can look at their website and you can contact them. God bless you, and thank you for watching us on Attention Central Texas.